Listen closely, because what I am about to say will feel uncomfortable at first, like the moment before a storm breaks, because deep down you already know it is true, and once you hear it, you will not be able to unhear it again, not in your relationships, not in your silence, not when you lie awake at night wondering why desire fades, why power shifts, why the one who speaks the least always seems to control the room. You were never meant to chase love with noise, explanations, or endless emotional displays, and the moment you understand this, everything about how you relate to women, to intimacy, and to yourself begins to change in a way that is quiet, dangerous, and deeply attractive. Stoicism was never about coldness or repression. It was about mastery, and mastery is seductive because it cannot be faked. In a world where everyone overshares, where emotions spill out like cheap currency, the man who remains centered, calm, and measured becomes rare, and rarity creates gravity. You can feel it when a woman looks at you a second longer than expected, when silence stretches between you, and instead of panic, you feel grounded, present, fully in control of your breath and your body. That silence is not empty, it is charged, and most people are too weak to stay inside it without trying to fill it with words. This is where power begins, not the loud kind, not the performative kind, but the kind that sits beneath the surface and makes others lean in without knowing why. The Stoics understood something modern dating culture has forgotten, that desire grows in space, not in pressure, that attraction lives in mystery, not in constant availability, and that self-control is the foundation of respect, both from others and from yourself. When you speak less, you observe more, and when you observe more, you start to see patterns that others miss. You notice how people test boundaries, how emotions rise and fall, how insecurity tries to bait you into reacting. The untrained man reacts immediately. He explains himself, he defends, he chases reassurance, and every reaction leaks energy. The Stoic man pauses. He lets moments breathe. He understands that not every feeling needs a response, not every message needs an instant reply, and not every conflict needs escalation. This restraint is not weakness, it is discipline, and discipline is deeply masculine. In relationships, especially between men and women, discipline creates polarity. It allows desire to build instead of burn out. When a woman senses that you are not controlled by impulse, that your emotions do not swing wildly based on her moods or attention, she feels something ancient activate inside her, a sense of safety, mixed with curiosity. She wonders what you are thinking, what you feel beneath the calm exterior, and that wondering becomes attraction. This is not manipulation. It is alignment with human nature, and the Stoics would tell you that living in accordance with nature is the highest good. Silence plays a critical role here, not the awkward silence of insecurity, but the deliberate silence of presence. When you sit across from someone and you are fully there, grounded in your body, relaxed in your shoulders, steady in your gaze, silence becomes intimate. It invites connection without force. It allows subtle signals to emerge, a shift in posture, a softening of the voice, a lingering look. These moments are charged with unspoken tension, and tension is the doorway to intimacy. The mistake many men make is rushing this tension, trying to convert it into validation or physicality too quickly. Out of fear, it will disappear. The Stoic man trusts the process. He knows that desire that is earned slowly burns longer. He allows attraction to rise naturally without chasing it, without needing to label it, without trying to control the outcome. This calm confidence creates a rhythm in relationships where intimacy feels organic, not negotiated. Even physical closeness becomes more intense when it is not forced, when a simple touch carries meaning because it is not constant or needy. Stoicism does not reject pleasure or intimacy. It refines it. It teaches you to enjoy what comes without clinging to it, to be present without being desperate, and to remain whole whether desire is returned or not. At the core of Stoic philosophy is the understanding that you only control what is within you, your thoughts, your actions, your responses. You do not control how someone feels about you, how long they stay, or how deeply they desire you. The moment you accept this, you become lighter. You stop performing for approval. You stop shaping yourself to fit someone else's expectations. You become rooted in your own values, your own mission, your own internal standards. This inner alignment is what people feel when they say someone has presence. Presence is not loud. Presence does not announce itself. It is felt. In relationships, this presence allows you to love without losing yourself. You can care deeply, connect fully, share intimacy, and still remain centered. This balance is rare, and rarity creates attraction. When a woman senses that your life does not revolve around her reactions, that you have purpose beyond the relationship, she does not feel abandoned, she feels invited. She steps closer, not because you pulled her, but because you gave her space to choose. Choice is powerful. It transforms connection from obligation into desire. Suspense lives in what is not immediately revealed. The Stoics knew that restraint amplifies meaning. In conversation, in touch, in intimacy, less can be more. A pause before speaking can carry more weight than a long explanation. A calm look can communicate more than 1,000 compliments. A controlled touch can feel more intense than constant physicality. This does not mean withholding affection as a tactic. It means expressing it intentionally. When you are intentional, every action matters. This intentionality is deeply attractive because it signals self-awareness and control. In a culture of excess, restraint feels luxurious. In a culture of noise, silence feels intimate. When intimacy does happen, when bodies draw closer and the distance closes, the connection feels deeper because it was not rushed. The Stoic man does not need to prove his desire. It is evident in his presence, in his attention, in his ability to remain calm even in moments of vulnerability. This calm creates trust, and trust allows intimacy to unfold without fear. Many relationships fail not because of a lack of love, but because of a lack of self-mastery. Emotional volatility erodes attraction. Constant reassurance seeking drains energy. The Stoic approach invites you to develop emotional resilience, to feel deeply without being overwhelmed, to express yourself without losing control. This does not mean suppressing emotion. It means understanding it, naming it internally, and choosing how to act. When conflict arises, as it always does, the Stoic man does not explode or withdraw in resentment. He listens. He pauses. He responds with clarity instead of impulse. This creates a dynamic where problems are addressed without drama, and drama is often mistaken for passion. True passion is steady. It grows in consistency, in reliability, in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing where you stand with someone. This stability allows intimacy to deepen over time instead of burning out quickly. There is also a deeper layer to this, one that goes beyond attraction and relationships, and that is your relationship with yourself. Stoicism teaches that your worth is not dependent on external validation. When you internalize this, you stop chasing desire as proof of value. You enjoy connection without needing it to define you. This inner freedom is magnetic. People are drawn to those who are not trying to extract something from them, whether it is attention, validation, or reassurance. When you are complete within yourself, you offer connection as a gift, not a demand. This shifts the entire dynamic of your relationships. You are no longer negotiating your worth through intimacy. You are sharing it. This distinction is subtle but powerful. It changes how you move, how you speak, how you touch, how you listen. It changes the energy you bring into a room. Silence also gives you access to deeper awareness. When you are not constantly reacting, you begin to notice your own impulses, your own fears, your own patterns. You see where you seek control, where you avoid vulnerability, where you crave validation. The Stoics believed that self-knowledge is the foundation of wisdom. In relationships, this self-knowledge allows you to show up honestly without oversharing or performing. You can express interest without desperation, affection without attachment, desire without possession. This balance creates a kind of suspense that keeps attraction alive. It keeps the connection dynamic, not stagnant. It allows both people to grow without losing themselves. Intimacy, at its deepest level, is not just physical. It is the meeting of two grounded selves. When both people are present, regulated, and honest, even simple moments feel charged. A shared silence, a slow conversation, a gentle touch can feel more intense than dramatic gestures. Stoicism invites you to slow down, to savor, to be fully in the moment without rushing to the next thing. This presence transforms intimacy from an act into an experience. It becomes something you inhabit rather than consume. In a fast-paced world, this slowness feels radical, it feels luxurious, it feels real. The Stoic man understands that he does not need to dominate or submit to be powerful. His power comes from alignment. He knows who he is, what he stands for, and what he will not compromise. This clarity creates boundaries, and boundaries create safety. Safety allows desire to flourish. When someone feels safe with you, not bored safe, but grounded safe, they relax. When they relax, they open. When they open, intimacy deepens. This is not achieved through tactics or tricks, but through inner work. Through learning to sit with discomfort, through learning to be alone without feeling lonely, through learning to enjoy silence without filling it. Attraction fades when people lose themselves. It strengthens when people remain whole. Stoicism offers a path back to wholeness. It teaches you to cultivate inner calm in a chaotic world, to respond instead of react, to desire without clinging, and to love without losing yourself. This way of being naturally stands out. It carries a quiet intensity that people feel even if they cannot explain it. It creates relationships that are grounded, passionate, and resilient. It allows intimacy to grow slowly, deeply, and authentically. As you move forward, remember that the most powerful thing you bring into any relationship is not your words, your looks, or your status, but your state. A calm state, a centered state, a self-possessed state. When you master this, silence becomes your ally. Presence becomes your language, and intimacy, when it arrives, feels earned, real, and deeply satisfying. You no longer chase connection. You create the conditions for it to emerge naturally. This is the Stoic path. Quiet, disciplined, magnetic, and once you walk it, nothing about how you relate to others or to yourself will ever be the same again.